When it comes to shortline railroads, most railroads have their own power, or they lease power from an external source. But what if I told you that there's a shortline railroad that has neither of these? Rather, it disguises itself as a Class 1. Enter the Wichita Terminal Association. Like many terminal railroads, this railroad is owned by a conglomerate of different railroads. It was originally created by the Missouri, Kansas, Texas, Rock Island, and Missouri Pacific, along with the Santa Fe and Frisco, as a joint venture to work a handful of industries in northern Wichita and to bring cars from these industries to the railroads. Today, it remains essentially the same, with it being partly owned by BNSF and Union Pacific. BNSF and Union Pacific provide both power and crews for the railroad, giving it the strange appearance of a Class 1 local rather than its own railroad. In today's video, we'll be doing a short chase of WTA along with a bunch of other trains that I filmed with my friends CXMX and WAMX 3829 on July 4th to celebrate 250 years of American independence. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Our story begins on the morning of Saturday, July 4th. I was with CXMX and WAMX 3829 at the BNSF yard in Wichita. The reason we were here was to see the yard switcher, which unfortunately wasn't working, presumably because of the holiday, but we didn't have time to be sad because a BNSF grain train was approaching. This grain train was being led by a pair of interesting locomotives, the leader of which was a narrow cigar -9 and the trailing unit was a 3200 series GEVO. The narrow cigars are very rare to see outside of local service, so this was a nice treat. While this train was passing, WAMX 3829 looked down 25th Street and caught a glimpse of 2788 running light power with 3166, so we rushed down the road to try to catch it going to the yard. WTA working on Saturday is very rare. I have never seen them work on a weekend before. But yet here they were, running light power with 2788 leading. 2788 is one of just 3 Santa Fe Bluebonnet painted GP39-2s active on the BNSF, so it's very neat to have it running here in Wichita where we can easily see it. It's also equipped with a Prime 990 horn, which is a very rare model of horn. It sounds pretty darn good too. One of the main reasons that we were all out on this day was because the Great Plains Transportation Museum was hosting an event for July 4th. They claimed it was an interactive art exhibit, so we thought it'd be cool to go check it out. So, yeah, the interactive art exhibit was AI-generated pictures of the American Freedom Train. I don't even know what to say. These are levels of slop I have never seen before at a railroad museum. GPTM, you should be ashamed of yourselves. This is seriously making me consider never supporting this museum again. Like, come on, you can do better than this. We were so pissed off by the slop that we decided to just leave and go to Orient Yard where we saw nothing of interest besides 3827, which is not a very common visitor to Wichita, before we heard the Prime 990 of 2788 off in the distance and decided we'd go back up north and shoot WTA some more. It's no surprise that a majority of WTA's customers are grain elevators. They serve a pair of Ardent Mills elevators, a Cargill elevator, a Bartlett elevator, and a Beechner elevator. At this time they were working Cargill, which is one of the less common elevators to shoot them working at. We picked a spot at the south end of the Union Pacific Wichita yard and began waiting. As we were watching them pull out of the Cargill spur, something unusual happened. You guys saw that too, right? It was a BNSF Jeep with its markings patched out and a tiny patch for QTLX. I tried to do research on QTLX, but I couldn't find anything, so if anyone knows anything about this, please let me know, I would love to. After getting this clip of WTA shoving down the UP to go work, you guessed it, another grain elevator, we left the north side of Wichita and started heading down to Mulvane to try to see BNSF's Local 9 with Greenie Weenie 1446 leading. unfortunately, had somehow managed to pass during the 5 minutes during which we were not near the tracks. But we didn't know this, so we set up shop a little ways south of Wichita and caught 2 eastbounds before finding out that Local 9 was a hopeless situation. Once we got to Mulvane, we were jump scared by this. We didn't even have time to talk about the UP leader because we were all baffled at the sight of a BNSF Jeep sitting in one of the rip tracks. I have never in my years of existing seen a locomotive in the rip tracks at Mulvane. It's always just been rail cars. This was a sight to see, and it didn't move for the whole day. After totally not utilizing a nearby trash can to get our cameras over the fence, we would catch our next train at Mulvane, which was an eastbound intermodal with all GEs.
Mom, can we go see the Frankenbonnet? No, son, we have the Frankenbonnet out!
After that goofy unit went by, we collectively decided that the lighting at the depot was trash, and so we moved to a spot west of town where we would instantly catch 3 GEVOs booking it east. After that zippy S train went by, we found the world's slowest Z train coming wrong main westbound. And as always, in the second place spot we have Chick Hick. Sorry, following right behind that Z train was another intermodal running wrong main, this one being the Q NYC lack. I could smell the dozens of identical GEVO pictures coming from a mile away, so I decided to go tryhard mode on this train and fly my drone over it, and I think it turned out pretty cool. The mid-DPUs on this train were an Ace and an H2 GEVO. After this train passed, we went back to the depot. Our first train after returning to the depot was an empty grain train with a repainted H2 GEVO leading. Following right behind the grain train was a queue with a -9 liter that not only was a -9 liter but also had a 4th of July banner on the front. A nice reminder of the reason we were out here. And to end off the day, what would a summer day in Kansas be without a spontaneous rainstorm to soak us all? Here's an eastbound vehicle train rolling through Mulvane as the storm settles in. Before I sign off, I'd like to give a special thanks to those of the 1700s who made it possible for us to enjoy freedom in the land of the frontier. I hope you all had a wonderful July 4th in America 250, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.